Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you 4 of my most used Lightroom techniques for portraits. These are usually some of my last steps when editing, so you want to do all of your basic adjustments first before trying these out. Let's get to it. Tip 1. Refine the details of your portrait. You want to do this by brightening the eyes and teeth and clarifying brows, lashes, and hair. Head to the local adjustment brush tool and paint over the eye area. You can hover over the dot or press O on your keyboard to see where you've brushed. Raise the overall exposure and lift the shadows just a bit. If your subject is smiling, it doesn't hurt to create a new brush to brighten and desaturate the teeth a bit too. Then, you want to create another brush for hair. Start by raising the clarity and lowering the highlights. Carefully go over areas like brows, eyelashes, and parts of the hair that frame the face. Refining those details adds polish to your portrait, but be careful not to go overboard. The key is keeping these effects as natural as possible. Tip 2. Add some glow to your portrait by tweaking the highlights. Head to the basic adjustment panel first and start by lowering the overall highlights. Lowering the basic adjustment highlights in an image often brings back a natural, non-digital feel to a photo. To compensate for how much darker the image is, head down to the parametric highlights, which are controlled by the tone curve, and bump that slider up. You can do this directly on the tone curve too, but I just prefer this method. These two tools might seem similar, but there's a subtle technical difference between the two that essentially boils down to this. Parametric highlights gives you glow. The way it affects the tone curve lifts highlights without affecting shadows, giving your images a nice punchy brightness. Tip 3. Dial in the skin tones of your portrait. Head to the HSL panel where you can control the hue, saturation, and luminance of specific color ranges. Under most lighting, skin tones have an orange base, so you can adjust for skin by using the orange section of the HSL sliders. It's a common misconception that raising the saturation and luminance of skin tones will make your subject appear more vibrant, but my approach is totally different. I actually lower both sliders to make skin tones appear as rich and natural as possible. The amount you lower those values will depend on the image, and I'll usually do this in conjunction with adjusting the parametric highlight to balance out the richness of the color with the overall brightness of the skin. When people ask me how I make my skin tones look so glowy in portraits, this is it. Tip 4. Polish off the image by gently smoothing your subject's skin. I personally hate over airbrushing skin, especially in Lightroom, but the camera captures a lot more detail than the human eye when it comes to skin, so this method allows the viewer to focus on the subject with minimal distractions. Create a new local adjustment brush and bump down the clarity but raise the sharpness. Again, the amount will depend on the photo, but my clarity is usually at about 45 and my sharpness is usually between 20 and 25. Gently brush over the most visible parts of skin or any areas with uneven or distracting shadows. This might take a little bit of tweaking depending on the lighting, but just adjust the clarity or flow sliders to control how strong you want the effect. These are some before and afters of the portraits where I applied these 4 techniques. The changes are subtle but impactful and bring out the natural beauty of my subjects. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button, leave a comment below if you have any questions or requests for future editing videos, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next one.